Cruise ship drinks are not cheap. A single cocktail can cost upwards of $16 on lines like Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. Drink packages aren't always worth the investment either, so how can you save money and get free drinks on your cruise? Well, let's get into it. You might have to get savvy, but you can definitely find ways to score free drinks on your upcoming cruise. Here are 15 ways to get free drinks on your cruise, and cheers to a budget-friendly vacation at sea. First, you should attend the captain's welcome party. Check your ship's daily schedule to see if the crew is hosting a welcome party. It's usually held on the first formal night, and it's a great way to kick off your cruise with a free drink or two. The event can last up to an hour, so there will be plenty of time to grab a glass of champagne or wine from the servers. However, this event is not offered on all cruise lines or to all passengers. For example, Carnival only extends the invite to Platinum and Diamond cruisers. Next, you should stick to one cruise line. Speaking of loyalty, you can be rewarded with free drinks by rising the ranks of a specific reward program. For example, Royal Caribbean's Diamond, Diamond Plus, and Pinnacle Club cruisers get a daily number of free drinks that can be used on cocktails, beer, soda, and specialty coffee. Even if you're far from the 80 cruise points that are required to reach the Diamond status, you can get free drinks by attending the top tier event, which is open to lower tiers of the Crown and Anchor Society. Similarly, though not as generous as Royal Caribbean's program, Carnival rewards Gold VIFP program cruisers with a complimentary drink on the last night of the cruise on voyages that are 5 nights or longer. Princess Cruises Elite Captain Circle members also receive a free minibar setup in their cabin. Also, you should use onboard credit for drinks. Another easy way to get free drinks is to use your onboard credit. If you don't spend it in advance through the cruise line's online planning portal, it will automatically be credited to your onboard account. That means you'll essentially have free spending money during your cruise. So if you have $100 in onboard credit and you spend $100 on drinks, you'll be getting all those drinks for free. Onboard credit can also be used for more than just drinks though. You may decide you'd rather spend it on something like a pricey excursion or a specialty meal. Next, you should sign up for the tastings on board. Cruise ship tastings aren't free, but they are typically a very good value. For example, my upcoming cruise on board Celebrity Eclipse has a wine tasting for $44 per person. The experience includes 6 wines from wine-producing regions, as well as a sommelier to help guide guests through each wine and explain what makes them unique. It would be impossible to get 6 glasses of wine for $44 elsewhere on the ship. They'd have to cost no more than $7 each. However, the cheapest on Celebrity ships tend to be around $8 or $9 per glass. In addition, you could consider attending a tasting at the duty-free shops. Of course, since tasting classes aren't free, you could opt to attend a complimentary tasting in the duty-free shops. Just note that these won't be as worthwhile as paid seminars because the samples are much, much smaller. The purpose is to get guests to purchase something to take home. Duty-free tastings are listed in the ship's daily schedule. I'd recommend arriving early. I attended one on my recent cruise with Carnival, and passengers started lining up around 30 minutes before the scheduled start time. You could also consider attending an art auction for free drinks. If you like appreciating art and sipping on champagne, you could consider attending an art auction on your cruise. You don't need to purchase anything for a free glass of bubbly. Park West Gallery, a commercial art gallery operating on many different cruise ships, hosts multiple art events throughout a week-long cruise. For example, there may be an introductory session on the first or second evening where they offer free champagne to guests while they preview their art collection. Next, you could also book a suite. Not all suites are created equally, however, some of the most lavish give cruisers a more inclusive experience compared to standard cabins. This is especially true for suites in a ship within a ship concept, such as MSC Cruises Yacht Club or Norwegian's The Haven. Not only do top-tier suites come with free drinks, but they typically have access to private sun decks, exclusive restaurants, and even personal butlers. Of course, these are more expensive than traditional staterooms, so your primary reason for booking a suite should not be just getting free drinks. However, the perk definitely helps justify the higher price tag. Also, you could consider getting lucky in the casino. Cruise lines have casino reward programs separate from their loyalty programs. The more you gamble, the better perks you receive. They could be as minimal as extra onboard credit, or they could also be more substantial, like a free cruise. Somewhere in between, however, you typically will get free drinks while you're playing. Plus, did you know that Celebrity Cruises gives free drinks to all players in the casino, regardless of their reward tier? It's true, so be sure to check it out. Next, you can also get free drinks on your shore excursions. While enjoying the ship's amenities is one of the best parts of any cruise, it's equally as exciting to visit new destinations. Certain excursions may be all inclusive or include a complimentary drink. If, for instance, you're cruising in the Caribbean, consider booking a day pass to a resort. One of my favorites is Jamie's at the Blue Reef in Costa Maya, as it includes all you can eat and drink. Other tours may give you free drink vouchers. For example, if you book an island tour in St. Kitts through Celebrity, at the last stop, you could enjoy a complimentary rum punch before making your way back to the ship. In addition, another idea is to visit a luxury boutique. Luxury stores on board may host a special event with complimentary drinks during your cruise. The daily schedule likely won't say free drinks, rather, the event may be called special showcases or trunk shows. In any case, if you aren't sure, you can just walk past on the way to dinner to see what they're offering. Or if you're considering making a large purchase, they may even pull out the good stuff while you browse. In addition, you could also take part in the onboard contests and game shows. Game shows are one of my favorite parts of a cruise vacation. Not only are they a great way to mingle with other passengers, but the antics can be hilarious. The winners may win free alcohol too. For example, Princess Cruises awarded winners of the Yes or No game show Onboard Sun Princess with a complimentary bottle of champagne. Winners of the Guest Dance competition also received a free bottle of bubbly. Even if you don't walk away with a complimentary drink, game shows are a fun way to spend your time on board, so make sure you check your daily schedule for a list of what is offered. Also, be sure to book the right specialty meal. Most specialty meals do not include alcohol. However, some, namely the chef's table, ensure that you won't have an empty glass during your meal, as the wine tasting is included in the price of your meal. When I ate at chef's table on board a recent Royal Caribbean cruise, I enjoyed a 6-course meal where each course was paired with the perfect wine. The last course was even served with a tasty espresso martini. My specialty meal at Le Voyage on Celebrity Ascent also began with a complimentary glass of Veuve. In addition, you should also keep an eye out for deals. Sometimes you might be able to book your cruise with a drink package included in the base fare. For instance, some cruise lines with inclusive packages include Norwegian, Princess, Celebrity, and Holland America. For instance, last fall I sailed on Celebrity Solstice with my family to Australia, and we were able to purchase an all-inclusive rate through our travel agent, which included a basic drink package. The price we paid through our travel agent was actually less than what we would have paid to book the room directly through Celebrity without any perks. The price also included gratuities and a basic Wi-Fi package, so this was an incredible deal. Comparatively, some cruise lines charge over $80 per day just for their drink packages. If you aren't sure how to find these deals, I would recommend working with a reputable travel agent. Another hot tip is to befriend a bartender. Not all bartenders make their drinks the same way. If you find a bartender who makes your drinks a specific way, don't be afraid to chat with them during slower periods. Getting to know a bartender may result in them making your drinks a little bit stronger, which helps you stretch your cruise budget further. That said, I'd advise straying away from the crowded pool and the lobby bars, because these are likely to be very busy. And while it's never guaranteed, some cruisers report giving tips at the beginning of a cruise also ensures that they get stronger beverages. And finally, you should go to the bar during happy hour. Happy hour might not mean free drinks, but you can usually save money by scouting out daily deals. Royal Caribbean has a drink of the day that's cheaper than other cocktails, for example. Disney Cruise Line also typically offers a happy hour with discounted beverages where you can save around 30% off drinks. All right, everybody, that is all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure and like and subscribe to Cruise Vlogs so that you can be notified every time we have a new video. Until next time, this has been Allie, and happy cruising.